Welcome, 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 welcome to the Reality Revolution. It is a beautiful day. Kyle Boyd, my brother from another mother, from the Heart Coherence Collaborative, is here. We just returned. We're still recovering from our incredible experience in Maui. We wanted to talk about it. We wanted to answer some questions. And I got to go live on Instagram here. There we go. We're actually live right now on our Instagrams, in our YouTube pages, on Facebook, on X, I have a Twitch channel. So people, when you get a chance, go and check out my Twitch channel. Can you believe it? Brian Scott has a Twitch channel. And we're on YouTube now. So it's always a wonderful experience to go live. Last time I went live, it was everything seemed a little bit unclear. I think I've worked that out. So for people that are like, I don't want to watch Brian live. Last time, we're always working everything out. Everything is working to our advantage. Something wonderful is happening. So we just got back from an incredible experience. We could never spend. We got to share our story of eating dinner with Paul Selig.
Oh man!
Right.
So cool.
So we land, and the thing is, people just didn't understand, and it was a real interesting experience. Is how beautiful this resort was, and before we were going, my wife and I were looking at the weather, and it didn't look that solid, did it? We were like, oh, it was like going to be colder than where we are at. Come to find out, they don't know how to do the weather in Maui. Like, I talked to one of the people that was at the event. They were like, oh yeah, they don't even know how to do the weather. It has a unique sort of warmth to it. The air is crisp and thick with light. As somebody that's become attuned to like energy vortexes and energy in certain areas, whenever I go to Maui, it's absolutely different. It's really an amazing experience when you're there, and everybody confirms it. Tell me about when you first arrived, like how you feel when you enter that island, right?
Oh man, yeah, it definitely smells different. It smells like just so tropical and vibrant. And I remember just going up to my hotel room that overlooked the ocean, and you can see the Hawaiian Islands from the hotel we were in. And I was just in awe. And, before we went, I was kind of like, oh, it's going to be a lot to travel to Maui. Will I even like it? It was the most amazing experience ever. I want to go there every year.
Yeah, I want to go. We definitely, I opened you up to the possibility of going to places like that, because we've had multiple people that have, a lot of people that come to our events want to go to them all, which is interesting. Yeah. And each event is so different. It's really this amazing experience that we're having. And so then, it was a 4-day instead of a 3-day. So we worked, we did the first day, and we did the pineal gland breathing, looking into fractals, kind of opening our mind. And then we did the awakening power teaching, which we had not done yet, and which was really amazing when combined with the pineal gland act, wasn't it? What was your opinion on that?
It's so cool how we start that off, because you can just feel how everyone elevates immediately and steps into like a higher version of themselves when that pineal gland gets activated. I love that. Like, every time I do it, I'm blown away by the power of it.
The question is, I'm tempted to make that a longer meditation. How long can you look at fractals and do deep breathing like that? Wow. And can we break through different, like if we started an hour earlier and really stretched that portion of the meditation out, but also added the awakening power in the same meditation so that they're unlocking their power in the same thing. That's something I had a vision of when we were doing it, right?
That's a great idea. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Because the combination of those two meditations together, just for people to understand, we did this the group meditation where we do a deep breathing, holding our breath, pulling energy up into our pineal gland area, and then just totally staring at fractals, which starts to awaken this deeper understanding of dimensions and your higher self and the branching of the multiverse. It's like this really amazing technology, the combination of using both of those things. And then so we did this where we figured out where we had given our power away in the multiverse, in our soul, in our past and future, in our life. And we made it a very dedicated attempt to pull our power back, but doing it as the group. I could feel people in the room pulling their power back, and it would add to the power in the room. Like there was this, it was like a flare when being the meditator. You get a really interesting feedback response the more that we've done it, where I can feel into the energy of the group, right, as I'm doing it. And I could feel like these explosions of energy as we were doing this meditation, right?
Yeah, the thing that was really cool that shocked me was like 2 days after the event, I was closing my eyes and I was seeing fractals, like the most beautiful design fractals.
That's
And
the amazing thing.
something that's never stuck with me. Like I've been able to see them in a meditation, but not like, you know what I mean? That it carries over. So
the Mandelbrot fractal is really the amazing thing to be looking at in that context.
Yeah.
And once you start seeing it outside of the meditation where you are creating the fractals, my theory is you're actually not creating anything in your imagination. You're actually seeing reality as it truly is. Reality is a fractal. It's a constant ongoing fractal, and it's overwhelming for somebody in a 3D consciousness to fathom that everything is infinite on every level, both within and without, in the past and the future, all around. Everything is moving into infinity. You're in like this bubble of infinity everywhere, which is what you start waking up, and it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming if you really get to the core of it. But then we it's like a safe place and everybody else is experiencing it. And then we start remembering, oh, that's how reality actually is in the unseen world. And you barely, right? So then we did the Bliss body meditation at the end. And I know that we had a bad video. It's Kyle's fault because he could have stopped. No, I'm just joking. But we tried to share the Bliss body, and we're still getting the technology down. We used the second microphone, and it was a little bit rough. But that meditation, as if you did try it with the recording that we did share, it was a 2-hour meditation, and that's after we had already like been through the pineal gland and then the awakening your power. So after that first day, it's like you're like the sun exploding, because we take you through every part of the body, and it's really an amazing experience to be a part of.
Yeah. And people, like I said, they have transformational healings that are very profound. Like the example I used, that lady that walked again, she came and she had a cane and she couldn't walk. And then after Bliss body, she was lifting her cane in the air and dancing. And
it's amazing. It's truly amazing to watch the people as they come in.
Yeah.
And then later on in the event, you can see people's postures changing. You can see their chest expanding. You can see this general confidence that starts to fill into the room.
Yeah.
I just love to be seeing that in action, right? So we accessed the infinite self. We shifted it into our future self. We had this huge quantum jumping experience the next day. And then we had karaoke, which went on for hours. And it was like this crazy night where everybody partied, even on the beach at the end of the day, right?
Oh, yeah. I was partying on the beach, and it was amazing. I'm still recovering, but it was, yeah.
Right. I mean, my favorite is the sort of release that we experience after that. And then we started to navigate how to experience the shift, which is really the big part. What do you do after you've shifted? A lot of people do the shift, but they're easily pulled back into the old reality. So we really try to create ways to make it more permanent. And it's exciting. It's exciting to see that process in action. And then we did the large sums of money and the opening to love. And in that final meditation, there's a sort of energy attunement that we experience where
missed, the higher self and the future self too, because that's
we met the higher self on the day we quantum jump.
I had a profound experience that weekend.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Meeting my higher self, dude. It was crazy. It's kind of weird to even talk about, but
it is weird.
I had this vision of my higher self. It was the weirdest thing. It was an alien, and they were literally working on my body. Like during this I'm seeing an alien
right.
on my body, and I'm getting this download that this is like beyond that I was actually put into a human body.
Right. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to share anything about your QHHT session that you had?
That's what came up even more.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So.
Oh, wow. Did you tell me about that? You haven't gotten a chance yet.
Yeah, during the QHHT, basically, my eyes were closed, you know, you go under hypnosis, and all of a sudden I saw this giant alien head, but it looked a little obscure, kind of like a reflection in the water. And I was trying to figure out, like, what is this thing doing? But then I realized it was looking at me through a bubble. And
okay.
they had my body connected. And yeah, I basically was told that I'm from Syrian. I'm like a Syrian.
See, I always thought that.
A Syrian alien. And so, like, what they said is all my physical ailments that I've had in my life are where I'm just resisting being an alien, like just like surrendering into the fact that I am that. And it was odd. It's hard to even
is it a walk-in situation? Is it a walk-in? Because you said they put you in a human body, but at birth?
Yeah, they said that during I've had some surgeries, and they said that during those surgeries they froze time and they worked on it. And they said that there's been upgrades that they've been doing to me every time I have a surgery, and they said I'm gonna have to have another surgery again where they're gonna help me out even more. And then I found out that one of my sons is also in the program, and he is more advanced than even I am.
It's amazing what comes out in your QHHT session, isn't it? See, I have a whole episode I recorded for the channel.
Yeah.
What happened in my QHHT session? It's so crazy that I couldn't release it. I was like, there's a little part of me like, I don't know, man. It's too much. It's too crazy what I experienced. But I see the thing is why I had questions is we were taking care of a lizard at the time, right? We were feeding it the worms and the bugs, you know, like you normally do. And then I saw myself as a lizard in the QHHT. But I was like a scientist, like with no emotions, and I had gone through the void to come here. I was I wasn't coming from that positive side, but I was always convinced I was having this because I have this experience where I'm being born from an egg, right? In the QH.
Dude, it makes sense, man. We're part of this time because we're both.
But it was like this kind of like big long needle that where they send you, like I volunteered to come, you know, and where they send you across the void into your new body, and I experienced it was like this. Where I was pulled forward, but the old version of me had like I needed to understand love from it, but that was just like a long time ago. Like I've been in multiple lives since that. That was like way back. It wasn't in my last incarnation, right? So it's experience, and I'm very interested in other people's, but I've never shared that. All right, so that's like, you know, it feels weird talking about it, doesn't it?
It makes me feel less weird. Because being a lone alien feels a little weird sometimes.
Right. But they, you know, they say in the script when you do the QHHT, and did you do it laying on a bed? Because that's the best way. You do it laying on a bed, and it's you're so dreary. If the longer they do it, the more relaxed you are in that setting, right? And I think it works. But they say, you know, let your imagination, you know, free it up. They free it up. They use the word imagination. So. And it sort of unlocked. Okay, I'm just gonna say what starts coming to my mind because I saw like big space battle.
Right. I would assume this is what happens for people when they're channeling in a way, right? It's kind of like they're just flowing different consciousness. I can't say for certain if it's real, but it definitely opened my mind to a different perspective. And Sarah Breckman Cosme, who she's become like the face of QHHT in the spiritual community. She's awesome. Right. She wants me to go there next month and record a session with me while filming me.
Oh, see, that'd be interesting. I'd be very interested in that. Yeah. But like my subconscious came through, my higher self came through, and my parents came through.
Yep. Leah came through for me. Leah came through. It was intense.
So you people living their higher selves come through, or just a version of her comes through?
It was a past life. So before I met the alien, I went to a past life where I was a preacher. and
Okay.
she was my lady. And then there was these weird things that happened, but it reflects what's going on now, and it was really eye opening.
See, I come from a group of aliens that are beyond just that my class. We come from a long tradition where we're just gathering as much information as possible. It's our religion is information gatherers. I mean, it's why I have all the books. Why was I reading so voraciously when I was younger? Stuff that didn't even matter. It was like it didn't matter if I ascended or even learned about meditation, but everything I learn in this is like shared to a pool, right? That goes, even though we have access to it all, the Akashic. So it was like we were researchers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I've known you long enough now where you're definitely different, It wouldn't surprise me. You're unique, man, in the most amazing way. It would not surprise me if you were born.
But why was my spiritual journey to read all these books? You know what I mean? It was, and I mean, people are out partying on a Friday and I'm sitting at home, with my book open. So, and then it turns out that was part of my journey, right?
Yeah, you've benefited so many people from reading those books.
Reading those books, right? Yeah. So then after the everything's done, you come to me and say, Paul wants to invited us to dinner. And I was like, wait, what? So
because Paul channeled during he didn't channel.
Paul channeled on Saturday night.
Right.
And it was really an amazing, full on channeling for an hour where he didn't make a single blip or error. And then my favorite is the question and answer where he's sort of channeling other people. And it's like he's like a psychic beyond just his guides, right?
Yeah, it's so mind blowing to watch because
his face changes. So it looks like the person.
Like, hey, tell me about my partner. And his face changes into the partner. And everybody that I talked to said, spot on. Like,
right. No, there's a girl that I had worked with that I coached, and I knew about her boyfriend. I knew all about the details of her boyfriend. And so when she asked the question and that guy started looking, it was exactly as described. It was exactly, there's no way he could have known. It was like, completely spot on. Right.
Yeah, he was so amazing. So he's up on stage and we're realizing how cool he is as a person. And then we get the message from him. He sends me a message. Hey, I'd love to have you over for dinner. And we go there and it's just the most beautiful spot. And we have the most amazing time. He is the coolest dude, right?
He is the coolest dude. And so when you get to this spot, it looks like one of those houses that you see on like Netflix. It's all windows. Amazing view of the ocean, but it's in the jungle, and it's got like really one of the most amazing views, right? Just this beautiful house. He's got two beautiful dogs. They're the cutest dogs, right? Incredible artwork, and he made like some really good chicken and potatoes. We just loved it, right? It was good.
It felt like being in a dream,
We were in a dream. It felt like dreamlike for him to talk, just relaxed about us. He just is such an easy person to talk to and hear more about his story.
I would say that's the experience for everyone that comes to these events. It feels like you're in a dream. It's almost like it
feels like you're in a dream,
different dimension, and
right,
experience reality differently.
Yeah. So I'm excited because in Anaheim we have Daryl Anka coming. It's going to be similar to that, and that's a 3-day event, and I'm going to be able to bring my art. So I'm creating pieces of art for this event. I've told you about my art, that my art business, right? So we create pieces of art that are magical sigils around specific forms of intelligent energy that when you look at, they evoke and create changes within you. It can be on abundance or different things. So we were thinking about creating paintings that we could surround the room with to create our own sort of vortex with energies coming in on all angles, on all sides, so that when people come, we're going to create like a focal point of energy, like a vortex in that room. And then we're going to have Daryl there. It's really going to be exciting. Yeah.
I have an interview releasing tomorrow with him that's I'm really excited about. But basically, I went into the Bashar Facebook community. They have like 200,000 people in there. And I've done this before where I ask them to submit questions. And so like a lot of my interviews have been made up of the questions from the Bashar Facebook community, but I got to knowing some of like the legends in the group, and
right.
these are like the most high like Bashar fans. Like they just know everything that's ever happened to Bashar. It's really quite amazing. And they told me, they were like, hey, just so you know, you're doing an amazing job, but all these questions have already been asked before to Daryl. Why don't we do an interview with never before asked questions? So I in the group, could I have never before questions submitted? And I got 1,000 comments because that group is just literally badass. They really just show up. And then I had 3 of those members who are like OGs sift through and actually determine which questions had never been asked. So
Wow.
Yeah, the interview tomorrow is all questions that have never been asked.
Oh, wow. So you got some pretty interesting answers, right?
Oh, yeah.
Sweet.
We went deep on density, dimensions, what's coming in the near future with open contact. And yeah, you know, Daryl's just a cool guy.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. So I'm excited to talk to Daryl at that event, right?
Yeah, one thing that we didn't mention too is during the event, you do imagine your future self. And I think it's important to just touch on this because when I went into my future self, one of the things that actually came up was that this meeting right here
on Saturday
we're doing is going to evolve into something amazing where it's almost like our show and we have amazing guests on. So I started reaching out to different people who are going to be here. Like Kelly Kolodny is going to come on. I think Dave Clements might come on, but like awesome people.
No, I'm excited for it. Like we might even be putting these live sessions as a separate podcast that you'll be able to find. We're gonna once we will figure out what's the name of our podcast. We would love to have suggestions in the comments for the name of our podcast. I kind of liked today's episode as a start, Surfing the Quantum Awakening. But that's a little long. It's a little wordy, you know what I mean? So right. So any suggestions from anybody is helpful. So yeah, and then I got a chance to really just enjoy Maui for a couple of days, and as I decompressed and recovered, and we had an amazing time looking at the different waterfalls that are in Maui. The Twin Falls is amazing. Then we found a more obscure like waterfall, which you're walking up the river. That was amazing. Did you try out the hot tub at the Maui Westin?
No, I was
one of the hot tubs. It's full sand on the bottom.
Yeah.
You can stand up and just sort of sit at the edge, and it wasn't too hot, right? Yeah. But it was so relaxing, and then your feet are in the sand as you're sitting there. You know, it was like I loved it. You know what I mean?
Everything just unfolded magically, but I was like busy, and you know, for example, one of the days I didn't have anything planned, and all of a sudden I get a call from Sue, and she basically was saying, I would love for you to take my helicopter ride because I can't do it. And so all of a sudden I'm up flying to a different island, Molokai, in a helicopter. And you know, it's actually the spot where they filmed Jurassic Park. So
wow,
up there, right? And the helicopter pilot, he starts playing the Jurassic Park music. And then he goes right into the waterfall, and it's like,
oh wow, no, that had to be amazing.
It was amazing. It was a trip.
Yeah. My wife got one of those pearls that, you know, you go up and then you pick the pearl and then you open it up. You know what I mean? And it has different colors. That was pretty cool.
I got somebody a present. I'm not going to say who, but it was the Tahitian pearls.
They had the Tahitian pearls. Yes, very nice.
Yeah.
No, here's a lesson I learned from it. And it's also a lesson comparable to life, right? We have this amazing event. We're going deep on these teachings that you can only experience in person. Yeah. And then outside, it's paradise. Like there's ocean waves and it's beautiful. And you could really see that's what life is. Like we can dedicate our time to this session, or we can go out and we can just get in the water. And for some people, it was a struggle. Like, some people found themselves drawn to the paradise, even though this might be their chance to shift. And it really showed me that, like, our people, if you're ready to shift, the outside paradise that you're in that sucks you in sometimes can take you away from that ultimate shift. It's like I could see myself in that a little bit. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you have to go through this process to get on to an even greater paradise. You're in one paradise, but there's a greater paradise beyond it. You have to dedicate yourself, right?
The journey is inward and it never stops, you know?
The journey is inward, right?
Yeah.
100%. So yeah, what do you have any interviews?
Yeah, the other thing too that I really love about these events that has kind of unfolded through just having these events is the infinite self. And that is something that I found really powerful. But it's basically like there's a version of you in the multiverse or that is the best at everything. And so whenever you catch yourself saying, I can't do this, that should be an automatic trigger to your brain that no, there's actually a version of you that is the
can do this.
And you absolutely have today, you have all the, you know, Claude that like really can assist you in being the best at almost anything.
It's the truth. And so we did the first time we did the infinite self meditation in our event, and we went over the teachings of like Burt Goldman, these amazing quantum jumpers that had figured out how to download information from aspects of yourself. Yeah. So if you know Burt Goldman was, you know, in his 80s, and then he downloads this version who was a great artist, and then he's selling art in big, you know, at big studios around the world, and he's for thousands of dollars. Because he had downloaded that version of himself. And we went deep with that, and with a process that you could use to download using the Bagua. And that it was a really fascinating experience, because I think that that's the next level. The future self that we're working with in these events is a version that's a collection of all their greatest selves that can do all the things that they love. The best artist, the best singer, the best cook, the best traveler, the best accountant, the best in technology, but at the same time, the best sort of public speaker. You're going to see these amazing people that can literally, it feels like they can do everything.
Yep.
It feels like, why is this person able, why do I keep on seeing this person everywhere? He can do everything. It's because now we have a way of accessing in consciousness, the ultimate internet. That's the self, the version of you. There's a version of you out there that can do anything. And there's ways that we can actually meet, talk to, and download information from those different selves. Yeah. And it's a game changer. It really is.
There's so many things that have been happening to me that are really hard for me to even talk about to other people. But I would love to hear you explain the science, because I don't fully understand it, of how you actually can walk into a different reality. Like you can jump into a different reality where things are different. And this is true. And it's also crazy. And I'm a skeptical of my own insights, but I went to a playground that I had been going to my kids with for, I go there every week. And, and there was a section of this playground that was completely different. And it had never been there before, and there was no new development. And I'm like, what in the heck? How would that happen?
You shifted for sure. And if you see that, for people watching, don't freak out, and don't go run and tell all your friends about it unless they understand. You know what I mean? But take that as a signal that you did shift. Yeah. And you know what I've seen. I've told the story that I would go for like a walk run, you know, next to my old house when I first started really shifting and experiencing these huge shifts. Yeah. And I would, you know, come upon, I would always cut across this lot, because I always cut across. So I'm going to take the shortcut instead of going all the way around on the sidewalk. And it was an open lot. There was nothing there. It was always an open lot. And I crossed it many times. And then after a shift, I come upon the same lot, and it's an old building. It wasn't a new building that had just been added there. It was an old building that had been there for a long time, and I had to go around it. I've seen lakes in a park where I was at, where I would always walk by another part, and suddenly there's a lake there. I would obviously know if there was a lake there. I can see the map. I've driven around. There's a lake there, right? Yeah. And so, you know, more and more, the really interesting thing is I think the operators of the reality want to make those shifts as minimal as possible. Because if they become really obvious, then a part of your consciousness starts to not believe reality. We tasked these operators with the assignment, make it as realistic as possible. We always have to have some level of doubt that what we're experiencing is real. We have to experience it, because so they do everything. It can be the most minor change, sometimes the most minor change. You put your keys here and then you find your keys over here. You don't even think twice about it. Your mind says, well, I guess I put my keys there, because memory is not as 100% as we think it is. And we can even create and add memory. So we're constantly floating around in these memories.
Yeah.
But the way that your question was that how can we shift, right? Right now in this present moment, we are here because of a collection of different realities and pasts that all gather into this single focal point of a moment. And so that in some ways we are guided by that, and that keeps us in a very limited range of possibilities for our future. But as we change what's been happening in our past, we start to open up also the possibility of what's available in our future. And from this point, for shifting, the most effective it's from this point forward. Suddenly you start experiencing the reality as if the past was different, the reality was different, the things were different. And in some cases, the only reality they can get you into has these minor changes to it, right? Especially when we start playing with memory, which we also do at the event, because memory is just nothing more than a mapping coordinate for a location in the multiverse, real or not. So when you remember something, it's like it pulls you there, even if it's not. So what you start to experience, everything starts to happen as if you're in that other reality. Some people, so it can be, I've shifted into a reality from one where I was a complete hermit, right, to where I'm actually like good friends with a lot of people. Right? Like suddenly people come to me because I'm their good friend. And in the old reality, I wasn't, I didn't respond. I didn't, talk. I purposely isolated myself. But why all of a sudden I'm getting all these texts and emails from people that claim that they have been my friend for a long time and that they're regular. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm seeing people that I knew in high school barely that are acting like, and then I go into my history, and I've actually have a long history of text with them that I don't remember. And then in a slow period, those memories start to come to me, and then I don't doubt it. There's a little phase, and it can actually last a fairly short time, where you suddenly, oh, that is different. And then you start to get the memories of it, and then slowly you start to forget it, right? And what we're doing, and I'm just pointing out that you can shift. And then in some cases, you're shifting and you don't know it. In fact, most of the cases, you're shifting and you don't know it. Your past is not what you think it is, and your future is unknown and determinable by you. And so what I'm telling you, the only way that you can really understand the multiverse is to experience it. It's an experiential process that more and more, as this happens on such a large scale and people talk about it on Twitter or some other place where the people are really start sharing their live experiences, as we've already had with the Mandela effect. But what we have is a million different Mandela effects, because what happened was we had a big shift that pulled us through the Mandela effect. But now more and more it's becoming isolated, where everybody's in their own reality bubbles and everybody is shifting, and there's not a shared previous past. And even right now, you and I are in a different reality, but we're merging just temporarily before you go off on your own. And I go off on my own. And that reality is not this fixed thing anymore. That time and space is open. It's a block universe where all time and all space exists as one block. And we can connect into our future and past. Once we transcend the ideas of time and memory, then everything changes for us. And some people are afraid of it. But if I open you up to this possibility, then, as we have shown, it can be a huge power and ability that you have. Suddenly you can change your reality. You can choose the perfect reality for you. And what happens is, it means there's no obstacle that you can't overcome. If you have a money problem, you just shift into a reality where you don't have a money problem. If you have a health problem, you shift into a reality where you don't have a health problem. In fact, I'm aware that there are versions of us that we never die. We're constantly just shifting. And once we die in that reality, we shift into another. Once we die in that reality, until we fully awaken and we realize it's all an illusion anyway. And then we move into the next illusion, essentially. So everything is a constant shift that we're experiencing all the time. And just have fun with it. We actually came to experience the joy of these shifts. and our ability to determine. And we can, it's the ultimate virtual reality game where we can choose the game and the experience, and we're getting ourselves to that.
Yeah.
Hope that answers your question, brother.
Yeah, it does. I see a comment that says, "Is this guy serious?" And like,
is this guy serious?
Is this guy for real? And it's one of those things where even I'm skeptical of it, because one time I was walking like somewhere I always walk, and there was a new lot. It was like land had been created to and it was just new. There was never this lot there. And I thought I was losing my mind. I told you about it. And then you started explaining it to me, but I still have a hard time believing it actually is real, but it was real. And so my question is, like, if we're shifting, what's the purpose of, like, why would the creators of the universe, the operators of the universe, want me to see that there's a new piece of land? Is it just to let me know that I'm shifting?
It's a great question. You know, the truth of it is that they want us to realize that we are the creator. This is a school for creators. And once you start to see that you have an effect on the outer reality around you, then that's the beginning process. Then we've graduated first grade, because this is a God class, and we're actually learning that we create our realities. And the first part is that you become aware of the shifting realities around you. And in answer to that question, am I serious? Yes, I am serious. It may not be true, but in my experience, after 2,400 videos that I have created, that tells you that I'm serious about this, that I've written books about it. I've consistently told the same story, and I've taught others to do this as well. And people are attracted to me that are also experiencing the elements of the reality shift that's going on. All of it is true. And yeah, I'm serious. And so the only way that I can prove it to you is for you to experience it yourself. So I facilitate these interactions where I'm going to show you what often happens as people listen to me and my voice is that they shift while they're listening to my voice. I've got it down to the point where I'm a shifter of my realities for people around me. When people hear my voice, then suddenly they find their reality shifting.
Because you're shifting.
It's like something's happening with the carrier wave of my voice. As people hear it, then suddenly they find themselves, they are in another reality, right? I'm just a bus driver in the multiverse, right? That's all I am. I'm just showing you the way. Because if this is true, and just for a second, take away your doubting mind and say, if this is true, then you can choose any reality that you want. If you understand the dynamics of it, and it is an intricate process at first, like you're becoming an engineer, you can live the life of your dreams. You can have anything, do anything, be anything that you want. You can go on that vacation. You can live in that dream home. You can travel the world to any place that you want. You can find that incredible girlfriend or boyfriend. You can find the deepest love. There is no experience that's limited to you, no matter what you're experiencing now, where you look at your debts and say that I'm 300,000 in debt and all hope is lost and I will never have the life that I want. That's not true. That's my goal. And once I realized how profoundly powerful these concepts are, and I could share it with other people and then watch them transform and change, the stories that I experience are so amazing. That's why I'm serious about it, because I experienced it myself.
Yeah. So I've shared this story before, but maybe some people here haven't heard it. Like 5 years ago, I asked Brian to come guide a meditation with all my friends. And so 300 people showed up on Zoom, and it was amazing. And Brian did this meditation called the Infinity Palace, where he took us into different rooms in this mansion, and we would imagine our dream bodies, our dream home, our dream partners. And when he had us imagining our dream partners, I saw this girl very vividly. She was beautiful. And so didn't think anything of it. But 2 weeks later, you interviewed me on your channel, and that interview goes live. And then I get a message from the girl I saw in my meditation, Leah. And just
like that,
all of a sudden we met up, and we were just like madly in love. And it's been wild ever since. So you definitely do have an effect on people where they can shift profoundly.
So the reason I say that is that people that are listening to me now, you suddenly find yourself sitting a bit taller. You can feel your voice changing. You can feel your ideas open up. Something magical is happening, and I want you to open up because what we do is we activate people. And then once you activate and you experience these changes, you become the activator. I'm a seed that was planted, awakening and dropping seeds everywhere I go. And then what more and more people are, we are the forgotten gods who are awakening. And that's my belief, is that we're remembering who we really are. And that is gods of this realm who chose to come here to totally languish in it's not languish, to thrive in our power. And that's what I believe. It's really amazing to experience and see. It's changed my life forever.
Yeah, it's almost fascinating because I truly feel like if I had a QHHT session 4 years ago, I would not have been an alien at that time. But because I've evolved and shifted, now my higher self is an alien. And
there could be that, or your higher self would just not reveal that yet because you're not ready for it.
Yeah, that's true.
A lot of us are not ready for that. We're just not ready for that awareness. You know what I mean? Yeah. But like I said at the event, we're the Avengers. We came here to save this world. And usually, for some reason, people are attracted to my channel and channels like yours that come from a higher spiritual calling. We're surrounded in our communities at our events, on your school and in my school, by masters, gurus, people that teach amazing things, spiritual technologies. What I think is really incredible is just the way that this community is just filled with gurus and messiahs and teachers and these amazing people that sort of are starting to come together. And together we're changing the world. We're changing the world.
That's one of my favorite parts of these events, is just people will randomly come up to us and be like, hey, can I go on stage to do this? And we're like, yeah, like go up there.
Go up there. Yeah. Well, we're going to have Fifth on. We're going to have Fifth on. She did the, she said she called it a medical clown. Did you hear her explain that to you? It was a sort of Qigong where we use laughing and breathing. You know what I mean?
That was amazing.
She gave me her book.
Oh, she wrote a book?
I read it on the plane, and it's like, it's illustrated. It's amazing. This book's amazing. And she was just, little do you know, like, and so we got to have her on. Invite her. She just like landed from her trip in Maui. So we're going to have more. And that's the thing is, if you are called to do something, especially energetic or channel, that we usually find a way for people to join naturally in perfect ways that they were meant to. This has now happened at each event. We've brought people that we weren't planning on that fit exactly what we needed for that moment. We had music being played. Yeah. I mean, amazing, right?
And the other thing too is we're open to vendors, which has been amazing. We had Ryan. Shout out to Ryan.
Ryan's amazing meditation chair.
Cool.
Yeah. We are trying to create a community. That's what's really special. The reality revolution is a worldwide movement. It's a community where we're accepting that we are so much more. This world can be so much more, that we can infinitely be prosperous. We can infinitely heal, that we can come together. The whole world's changing. What we believe we see in the world when we watch the news, the doom scroll on our phones, is not what's actually happening.
Right.
There's something new that's happening. Come and join us. Join the new earth. And that leads me, I'm really excited because we have our event in Austin that is in September. I think it's the 19th through the 21st. We got to clarify that exact dates on it. But it is going to be just a large sums of money event. And I've got some amazing teachings. We're going to go deep. I'm going to do the deep research style on how can we make money in this new economy, in this new era, in the new earth. How can we receive large sums of money in flow? And we're gonna put together a model. It's a magical working. It's a complete shift where not just through meditation, but through teachings about what's available now, that when people walk away, that we will literally be in a place where large sums of money are flowing to us. We're going to completely change our relationship to money over the 3 days. It's something I have brewing that's going to be so amazing. It's going to change everything so that the people that come to this event will be changed by that spark, the money energy that we invite. I can't wait. I'm super excited.
Dude, you're making me think of just some crazy things that have happened from me listening to your large sums of money sleep meditation. Yeah, I was listening to that for a couple of weeks, and all of a sudden, this investment that I had put $1,000 in it. It spiked to $320,000.
Really?
Yeah. I was out and about, so I couldn't sell it right away, but I sold it at like 100,000. So
That's amazing.
it was 100 grand out of nowhere.
It seems magical. It seems easy. It's just like these things. And I've heard the investment that I forgot about, almost like you didn't do that investment, but suddenly you shifted into a reality where you did. And it's, oh yeah, by the way, you have this investment, right?
Yeah. And I think that's an important part of this all, is to not be freaked out when it happens, not go tell everyone in the world, like just act like
it's normal.
It's normal.
Right. And we want this to happen not just once, but on a continuous basis from multiple sources, where we actually enter true freedom. What I envision for everybody is a life of true freedom, where you can travel where you want, live where you want, do what you want, be what you want. That money unlocks this freedom. It goes beyond the money. It's the freedom. If we want to create a reality, we're going to need money to do it. If we want to travel, even spiritually learn, sometimes as we advance, we come upon teachers that help us, and those teachers, it requires some money, and it's not, there's no other way around it. And what it becomes is it unlocks something completely different. And so I've had, as I've been preparing and doing these super deep dive research, it's going to be more than just a money activation or meditation. It's a complete rethinking, realignment with money itself, so that when we walk away, because my belief right now, and this is the truth, there's never been a better time to be alive than right now. There's never been a better time to be alive and make all the money in the world. Millions and billions of dollars are available to us. It's only as what you'll allow us, what you will allow for yourself. And that's part of the event, is opening up those limitations, expanding what is available that we can keep, and getting the flow of money so amazing that I'm really excited to really undergo that, to access the money body. There's a money body that we have. The money body is in the heart. It's in every part of the body. It when we do the money body meditation, it's like a bliss body, but it's the money body. When I take you through the body where the money body exists, and that is awakened, and then the money eye, when you have the money eye and you start to look around, just look around your house, the chair that you're sitting in, everything around you is just money. In fact, most of what you see around you are large sums of money that people have made. The light that I have, the photo frames, the books in the background, each of those represent money. When your money eye opens and you see the world from the money eye, everything changes. And that's what we're, so the link for the Austin, we have not been advertising. We haven't even got the ad cut yet, but we do have the link. It's available for the first time in the description. It's www.brianscottllive.com/Austin-2026. And we have the link for the Anaheim event as well. In fact, we have the link for the Sedona event. I didn't even put it in there. We might sell out the Sedona event before we ever advertise it. Really, we've only shared a couple of ads. We've shared a couple of ads at the end of these lives, and then people at the event that have signed up. But we've had so many people sign up already that that event is going to be amazing. Now that's going to be the culmination of this year of everything that we've done. That's going to be, we're going to actually go into the Vortex at Bell Rock, and we're going to meet our future selves in the Vortex. It's going to facilitate it's a magical operation, a particular sequence of events that, as we prepare for 2027, as we look out into we are being told that we're going to have disclosure in 2027, these huge changes. 2027 feels pivotal. We're going to go into the Vortex, and we're going to walk through it into our future self. And I'm excited to experience that.
Now, when you say walk into the Vortex, we're physically going into the rocks, right? We're going to walk up to the rocks outside.
According to your research, it's a 10-minute walk. Maybe we can get, if people can't walk.
I actually read 5 minutes. So
5 minutes. So if people can't walk, we'll figure it. Let us know, and we can get a wheelchair for you. We'll figure something out. We will make sure that you can go. And then when we come to this space, it's going to be very special, unlike anything that we could experience. It's sort of this is going to be the beginning of something special. And everything that we're doing, is part of this. I feel like we're being called to go to areas that need us, into places that facilitate these changes. It feels like that we're secretly being called, our Syrian brothers, all the brothers from the Confederation, all of the brothers from the
Syrian brothers,
yeah, from the service to others, this amazing group of beings of light that are working through us and around us, are guiding us. We sometimes don't even know what the hell we're doing, and then we look back on it and we're like, whoa, we were just guided into doing this thing, and we created this healing. That's what happened in Maui. We had people joining us that had never heard of me, that were from Maui, right?
That day.
That they heard about us from that day. And then we had some people, citizens of Maui, saying that we got blessed by the goddess Haina. When it's like this envelope, is moisture envelope that's like a fog that surrounds a specific area. That's a blessing. Yeah, right. So after the first day, they said that Haina had blessed us because it was just around the resort. After we had finished that first day where we did the Bliss body meditation and people walked away. And then from that point on, it felt like the gods had been with us, that had blessed us. And then other people told us they had seen signs and different things. Pele had blessed us. It was amazing, right?
The other thing that's really cool is just like magicians show up out of nowhere to support our event. We already have had people reach out to us from your community and my community that are like, can I get up there and lead Qigong? Can I get up there and do this? And then Lily Nova reached out to me. She lives in Sedona. She's going to come to the event. For anybody that knows Lily. Pia and Cullen, they're this beautiful couple that actually channel simultaneously.
Right.
Craziest
so
thing
we
ever.
have Pia and Cullen. Pia and Cullen are going to be at the event in Sedona, right?
That's
on
right,
Saturday night, right? I think so. Or Friday night.
Yeah. And then
so that'll be amazing. And I'm going to have them on so people can know. We have Pia and Cullen. You haven't gotten a chance to experience two people both channeling at the same time. That it's amazing, right?
Yeah, and Lily said she wants to do something with crystal bowls if we have space for it.
We can't. I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
So we'll have activations with the crystal bowls. We can do that prior to and also during the meditation. We can use the crystal bowls as the soundtrack for it.
Dude, I love we're still too. It's just the coolest place in the world.
It's the coolest place.
They're in a different frequency out there.
They're in a different frequency. Yeah. It was interesting. We heard that some people, the island keeps. They go there and they find them that, and some people the island doesn't keep. Like the island rejects them. Right.
There's one person from the event that is, because they were there in Maui. She's staying there permanently. So.
Oh really?
Yeah. She's not coming home.
Every time I go, I have this little thing like, we could stay here. We could stay here full time. I mean, it fits with my sleep schedule.
That happened to me. I went out there for school for 6 months, and then I loved it so much. I stayed for another 6 months. I had to get like special conditions to let me stay because it was only supposed to be a, 1 semester, but I couldn't leave.
All right, so we're gonna do the shelves lottery, the bookshelves lottery. So the first thing is we're going to do 3 numbers, numbers between 1 and 7, and then the next is numbers between 1 and 7. So 1 is the shelf, the number of the bookshelf. The second is the number of the row, and then the third number is a number between 1 and 20. So I'll have you pick, and so we got 3 numbers. The first is 1 between 1 and 7. You guys put it in the comments. The first one that we see that comes through between 1 and 7.
That person put looking for a place outside of America. So they actually.
Does that count as? All right. So we count that as the first number. Okay.
Number we saw, right? I mean.
But now she also said 3 later. So, okay. Which number is it? We got 4 actually was the first one. No, we got 2.
I think we got 4. I think we do.
We got to go with 4. Okay. 4 is the first number. And then the second number is. The second number is between 1 and 7.
Oh,
so it's 6. Is it row 6?
Yeah.
Okay. So we got 7, 6,
4 and 6.
4 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then a number between 1 and 20. Number between 1 and 20.
67.
A number between 1 and 20. We can just say.
I think it was the 6-7 thing.
All right. Yeah. All right. I'll be right back.
Nice. Juan Solis. That was funny. I appreciate that. That was good. All right, Nikki. I appreciate that.
All right, brother. So remember when you were asking me about Richard Bandler?
Yeah.
And the guy that created neurolinguistic programming and the books he wrote. So
yes.
The Structure of Magic is this book written by Virginia Satir and Gregory Bateson, a book about language within by Richard Bandler and John Grinder, where they go over exact language structure. A lot of what you hear me use in my meditations is based on a technology, the structure of language, the structure of magic. And if you want to see sort of the origins of NLP, where they break down the meaning of words and interactions, and it's like an algebra of language. See if I can get it. You know what I mean? It has stuff like this. I told you the story about Richard Bandler. We could.
I was blown away. I was truly blown away by that.
Yeah. Richard Bandler is probably one of the best hypnotists in the world and created neurolinguistic programming, but was also accused of murder. And, the person that died wrote in blood, Richard did it. And then his fingerprints were on the gun, but he testified in trial using neurolinguistic programming in the structure of language and was found innocent, even though the jury was like, well, we thought he was guilty. But so this person who created this amazing technology, it's really interesting. The other book that caught my eye there was a book on love magic. The way to love through ritual spells. So I went through a phase in my life where
tell me that looks cool.
I went through a phase in my life where I was like, can I use magic to create love in my life? So rituals, blessings to the moon, the different gods, the different crystals. I did try it. I didn't find the love of my life when I tried the love magic, but I did experiment with it. Spells to attract love is the chapter that I opened up. The love tea spell. A love tea can be made on Monday, Tuesday, or Friday during a waxing moon. You will need 3 candles, red, pink, and green, 4 caraway seeds, 4 fennel seeds, 1 tea bag, 3 rose hips, 5 edible rose petals. If you cannot get rose petals, buy rose water or dried roses from a herbal shop. Then light the candles and place them on the stove near the teapot. Bring 2 cups of spring water to a slow simmer. Add the other ingredients with the tea as the love tea is steeping. Pass your hands over the steam 3 times. Concentrate on feelings of love. Pour a cup and sit in a cheerful place. If you have a photo of an intended lover, place it where you can see it as you drink the tea. Receive this spell. I lift this cup to my lips. I drink it slow with tiny sips. Rose, tea, caraway, and fennel cause love to stay.
Oh, that's awesome. Hey,
all right, so that's lottery bingo or the bookshelf bingo or whatever we call it.
Got to do that every time. One thing I wanted to ask you about in regards to manifestation is why, when we talk about things, does the manifestation get ruined sometimes? And I know it's like the balancing forces principle, and I would love for you to dive into that. But last year, I manifested the most amazing home, a mansion on the ocean that I was going to live in for free. That was the agreement. And I went and told everybody. I wrote an email to my whole entire collaborative saying, you guys set up appointments, come stay at this mansion with me. I made it a whole business model.
Right. I remember.
The people were going to just come stay at my place. And then out of nowhere, the lady says, I need 20 grand tomorrow. And I was like, what? That's not the agreement. And then it just kind of ruined the whole thing. And
yeah.
But
so
I jumped back. You know what I mean? I had it and then I jumped.
Yeah. It's so often will happen this way. I've had deals that came up things that are that are in the process, or you get something new, which is okay. Ask yourselves, why doesn't Brian talk about a lot of his manifestations on his channel? And part of this is I'm doing exactly that. Do I trust your imagination? If I share it with my wife, that's one thing. I know what, but if I share it with anybody outside of a small circle, the question is, do I trust their imagination?
Right.
Because I'm inviting their imagination into the process before it's been accomplished, or even after. And so you had people that saw what you did and imagined, oh, it's probably going to be it's all a scam. Because, you know, a lot of people will say, oh, what's the catch? What's the scam? Oh, yeah, right. I bet. That's a normal common response, because that's the way it is in this day and age. Nothing. It's too good to be true syndrome. So I've had to really clear myself of the too good to be true syndrome, and people are cynical and jealous. And so if you invite their imagination into the process, they will look at it with cynical, jealous eyes saying, oh yeah, right. Just like in my life, it never works out. And then suddenly it derails your imagination, because we're in a collective form of imagination. And so it's important, wait until it's done to share your victory. And even then, think about it very clearly about how you want to share it. If it's an ongoing thing, keep it quiet. And I have found that to be, once you invite outside forces that are involved in this, there's ways that you can write it. There's ways to use it. But this is what I have found is it's, you know, if you have a partner that you trust, that sees you in the best possible way, when they think of you and talk about you, they look up, they believe in you, and you feel that, then that's the kind of person you can share, right? Like it's a validation, because I do involve others in my imaginings. I say, I'm sharing a victory. I say, I imagine myself saying, hey, check this out. I did this thing. And I hear my friends and my family members saying, congratulations. I'm so proud of you. That's amazing.
Nice.
I hear their voice. I see their text, but it's only those people I trust. And it's a very small group. Maybe I trust 2 or 3 people for my imaginings. And then and once they're in your circle, then you can, and they can actually enhance the experience. But I'd love to get the view of others in the group.
I actually had another experience like that, where I had Joe Dispenza pretty much locked in for an interview, and then I told all my friends, and all of a sudden it was like, your channel's not ready for this. But it was pretty much agreed to, like, and out of nowhere.
How is your channel not ready for Joe Dispenza?
Well, this was like at a time where my editing was kind of ghetto.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, the thing is, at least they responded to you.
Yeah, right.
They didn't respond to me. I wasn't even worthy of the response. So, I mean, that's cool.
I can circle back, and they'll.
Yeah.
I think it's almost time. So.
I think we're getting close to that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so it's all in perfect timing. There have been times I've really wanted to interview people, and I was not ready. I was not ready to interview them in the proper way. Feels like every time I do an interview, I get better at it.
Yeah.
And it feels like I wasn't ready to interview that person yet until later. And then when you're ready, you know it's going to be a better interview.
Yeah. And anybody listening, this is a little, actually, I won't say it. I won't say it because I don't
say it. It's okay. It's okay. We have possibility.
What I was going to say is just, you're going to be doing a lot more interviews on the channel with some amazing people coming through.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah.
We're going to have, we have some amazing interviews coming up. You know, as I explained to you before, in the old Brian Scott, when I would do interviews, it was with my old webcam in my old house. And it was sort of ghetto. It was ghetto. I mean, it was like 720p, 1080p even didn't look like 1080p. And so the setup wasn't right. And so the algorithm was like, nah, we ain't going to show anybody that. We're not going to share this. This is like kindergarten interview, even though I had some amazing interviews in that process. So I think we've fixed that. And I think we're coming back into the new age. I think eventually, I want to do some in-person interviews where we both can talk to some people and set up some situations where they come and they visit us and we can have a real interaction, go to dinner with them, talk to them, hang out with them.
Yeah, one thing that came up for me in the future self imagination was having an actual studio
Yes.
Where I have a professional setup like yours, because right now I have 6 board games stacked one on top of each other with
To get your camera to where.
and then I
Yeah.
got, you know, it's
So
definitely
that longest time in my old house, I just had a stack of books for where my camera, my webcam would sit on top of a stack of books. And now I got a legit arm that I can adjust up and down. You know what I'm saying?
I'll get
My
there.
future self was like, you need to, my future self was like, you need to change your equipment. You know, even the microphone, all those 2000s of episodes was on a low grade microphone. I was just using a Yeti that I thought was this amazing microphone, but it wasn't.
Your setup
So
looks good, man. I'm
it's
really
gotten better.
curious to
Yeah.
see how your interviews will do now. Like,
Yeah.
the difference. I told you this story where I had somebody. I think it was. I'm trying to think of his name. His name's Jeff. He's the energy guy who lives in Japan. Anyway, I can't remember his name right now for some reason. But he came on in bad quality and he said something, and then he came on in good quality and said the same thing. The first one got 100 views. The good quality one got 8,000 views. So, and he said the same thing both times.
Yeah. It just it is what it is. And it's been a process of learning to move into that point. There was the truth of it is this. When I am sitting in recording a lot of my old episodes I did with my eyes closed, I didn't want to think about what I looked like. And my voice sounds better when I can sit and focus on my voice like this. When you'll find a lot of times when my episodes were like this, because I'm really focused on this. But when I'm talking like this, my voice doesn't sound as good. So I've had to learn, how can I keep my voice where it was at? And sometimes the funniest thing that I'm getting from my on-camera stuff that I'm doing, and this is a very recent development, I've actually had maybe 10 videos with on camera out of 2,400, is that people think it's AI. I keep on getting people that say, I hope that they can watch this live to see it's not AI. People are like, I'm sorry, but this just doesn't look like the real Brian. It's AI. And I'm still learning how to, do eye contact with the camera. Because there's a process where I think with my eyes. So I'll be like, I'll talk like this, or like I'm envisioning, and I have to like really figure out how I'm going to put it. It's a different experience for me. It took me a very long time. It's like I'm channeling and learning how to channel a different way suddenly, It's
like being born in an egg, right?
It's like being born in an egg, right? Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's some of that, right? So so you've had some time back. You didn't do any work the rest of the week after you got back? You just been recovering?
No, it was crazy. Because it's a 6-hour time difference, I've had trouble adapting.
It's a big shift. It's jet lag for sure.
In Hawaii, I was up till like 2 a.m, just on the beach having a blast. And so when I came back here to fall asleep at a regular hour was just really challenging. And then my sons would wake me up really early because they're on a normal schedule. So I'm still recovering,
Yeah. At least I'm in California, which is just 3 hours instead of 6. Still, it's still rough, you have to recover from it. But yeah, no, it's been an interesting experience. So it always is, right? But we're so I was excited to get back so I can watch some movies. There's some good movies out in the theaters. I'm excited to see Mandalorian and Grogu. I'm a star. Oh, was it good? It
was amazing. 3D. Okay. Make sure you go 3D.
We're going in the one that has a surrounding. Have you been in Film X? I think it's something called, where it's you have the main big screen and then 2 screens on the side filling in additional. So you're surrounded. Have you seen that one?
I have one of those here. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna go that. So after that we're done today. I've already bought my tickets for that. Yeah. And then Obsession, the horror film, is amazing. I'm just saying, if anybody wants to see something that's amazing, I love the time of year when they start releasing more movies. And so have you seen anything else? Catch any movies on the plane?
I mean, yeah, Marty McFly. I watched that.
You watch Back to the Future?
No, it's Maybe I think that's the name. He's ping pong player.
Oh, okay. You saw that one? Yeah. Okay, yeah.
It was actually an amazing flick.
No, I saw the beginning of it on the plane, and I realized I couldn't, like, people around me. There's some scenes in that at the beginning, right?
Oh yeah.
Right, yeah. That one's great. I love that. But you need to see Project Hail Mary when you get a chance.
Oh
yeah. Wait, when that comes out as soon as you can. You should.
It's not on Netflix yet.
It's not on Netflix. No. I think you can rent it, but you know that. Yeah. That's solid. And we've been watching Dutton Ranch. See, we're like suckers for the like Yellowstone and Taylor Sheridan and
cool.
1883, 1923 Yellowstone. I mean, we're suckers for all that. So
yeah. My boys, when they're here, they pretty much control the airwaves. But another one I'm excited to see is Disclosure.
Disclosure is going to be amazing with Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
It
comes out in July.
I think so. Steven Spielberg gave us Close Encounters of the Third Kind, a really amazing first contact movie. But also Steven Spielberg has given us Jaws and Jurassic Park. And so I think he's my favorite director. He's always been an amazing director, and he's just done less movies. And so it's exciting whenever he releases a movie. And it's for good. I think that he's actually been produced some mini series that are also about alien encounter. I think he's the foremost filmmaker when it comes to, like, legitimately what would happen if aliens came to us and how would it be? You know what I mean? So I think Disclosure is. I just read that the screenwriter for this had 47 different versions of the story until Spielberg was okay with it. Like, he was that. He wrote the screenplay 47 different ways until it came out. You know, and Emma Stone I think she's in it, and she's amazing. So I'm excited about that.
What do you think about the Disclosure stuff that's actually happening right now? Like,
I do think that, you know, I'm excited for anything, and some of those videos were interesting. What did you think?
They were definitely interesting. You know, you just always. I mean, I remain, I guess, like, skeptical, but some of them seemed legit. You know,
Jill in Chicago says Disclosure comes out on June 12th. So we got that. That's good.
Oh, that's coming up. Let's go.
On June 12th, yes.
Nice.
June 12th, Disclosure comes out. Sweetness. So I'm excited about that.
I think that movie, Hail Mary, is on Prime.
It's on it'll be on Prime soon. If you ever want to listen to an amazing book, the book Project Hail Mary is amazing. And that's the same writer. Have you ever seen the short on YouTube called The Egg?
No.
Okay. As soon as you're done, I want you to go and just look up The Egg on YouTube. It's a short animated movie that's written by that author. And the concept is, like, he dies, and then suddenly he's met with this version of this higher godlike version, and that God basically explains that your journey is to become you live every single life of all the lives. You one day you're maybe in the 1800s working a farm as a Chinese farm worker, and the next life it's in the future. It's not necessarily linear, and there's levels. Like, the first level is you just live all the lives of every human that ever lived.
Wow.
Right. And then like other beings have already lived that, and it's that the first level is you. It's not just you're reincarnating from one life; it's all the lives, and it's so good. And he's like asking, like, okay, so what does that mean? And, like, there's other levels of consciousness, and it was that same writer that wrote that. So you got to watch it. You got to watch it. So I totally recommend that, and you know, I just. I'm not a fan of Paramount and Warner Brothers consolidating all my brothers and sisters in the industry. It's harder to get jobs. Are weird. I have so many friends that work in, because I moved here to be a screenwriter, and it's just the Hollywood industry's changed. Netflix is great, but they don't give residuals, man. Like, when people do a long series, that's it. Like in the old days, like, these actors would get paid after they would do these series. But I still love Netflix too, man.
That one that came out with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck a little bit ago?
Yes, The Rip.
That was
The
bad.
Rip. That was a great movie. I loved The Rip.
That was Netflix.
Anytime that was on Netflix, yeah.
Yeah.
So I recommend, if you want to see a good movie, see The Rip.
Yeah.
And so
they don't get residuals then.
They don't get residuals. They better get paid up front. It's not like the old days. You know what I mean? We also watch Jack Ryan on Amazon. I'm a big fan of those series. But it was okay. The movie, there's Jack Ryan Ghost War was, it was okay, but nothing spectacular. There's this movie coming out that Joe Dispenza and some others that interviewed called Frequency. It looks really good. You should try to get the film creators an interview with them. They did this whole movie on Frequency. It looks really amazing.
I will. I'll email them right after this.
Somebody just said, Brian, you seen Lie to Me? Oh, by Tim Roth. Yes, the series Lie to Me by Tim Roth. Great series. The whole series, this guy, Tim Roth, he can tell when somebody lies. He can tell all these and so it's just like, I love that series.
I'm sensing that you've seen everything that's ever came out in all the times.
It goes back to my soul's journey. Why is it I watch everything, I read everything, I see, I hear, I know all the songs. Like my journey before I came here is I want to hear all the songs, read all the books, see all the movies. I want them all. It's like I was gathering information. It's my soul's journey is I'm this researcher. And even if I am asleep, that if I've seen all the movies, I've had this spiritual experience several times where I'm watching a movie or series and I realize that I'm not watching a movie or series. I'm sitting watching somebody's life. I'm actually seeing an experience from somebody's life that I've been like those beings that meet you at the end of your life, and then they go through like your whole life. They should, and I'm going through a life review. A lot of times I feel like, oh, I've been here before. This is like a life review, right? Do you ever watch this miniseries and it feels like it's sharing you with somebody's life?
Yeah,
and it feels like that, right? Like,
yeah, for sure.
And Karen says yes, Frequency is an old movie. I think this is a different Frequency. It's the documentary. So,
oh, cool.
Yeah. I definitely love that. So, but we are open to answering questions from you, and so any questions. Let's see. Somebody asked, does Joe Dispenza's stuff actually work? I heard that some of his stuff is quite forceful. I think Joe Dispenza is one of the very best meditators and speakers that are going. I think he's a genius. I think that he's had the opportunity to get feedback for how he's meditating by looking at people's brainwave states. I think that really is why Joe is so good, because he has mastered the ability in a session to create brainwave states, and a lot of his material is coming from a very well-intended, educated place. I have so many clients that have gone to Joe's events. Yeah. I can't say anything. I think he's amazing. That's my opinion.
There's so many reasons why his stuff is unique. Like you said, the brainwaves. So many of us have like the analytical mind running at all times, and so he like very simply teaches you how to get into alpha, which is kind of like the doorway into being able to meditate on a deep level. But I did his pineal gland stuff, and I was doing his breath work, and all of a sudden it hit me just right, and I got catapulted into this place where I could see all the electrons, and they just went into this pyramid with an eye on it, and it was radiating love like I've never experienced before, just like shining on me. Yeah. And then it went into my pineal gland, and then I opened his book, Becoming Supernatural, right after, and I opened to heart intelligence, and that's how the Heart Coherence Collaborative was born. So
I love it. Yeah. No, I mean, Joe's doing some incredible work, man. Somebody asked, I keep dreaming about trying to save animals, baby animals mostly. Can you give any insight, please? I believe that all the animals we see are just like us, just beings on a lower density that are going through their own soul's journey. And many of those might be 6th density creators, but they have to go and start as an animal. I've actually met beings that did that. And so each of the animals that we meet are actually beings that might be just these amazing beings that have been on a journey. And so many of us in our path to serve others by helping animals in their own process. When you take care of an animal, it forms an identity, and a lot of times you're helping them on their path. And so, like, my dad was a veterinarian, one of the most spiritual people that you would know, and he never talked about spirituality, right? But he felt this overwhelming drive to take care of animals. Animals responded to him. And so some people out there, I think, are called to help animals as a part of their service in helping others, and others includes animals. And so some people are very well adept and attuned to that. It can be hard to take care of animals. It can be a difficult thing. It's like taking care of another baby. You know what I mean? And so people that are called to do that, I think it's a part of their spiritual path. And I think you're doing very incredible work. So let's see, we have a question. When our government discloses things, it's usually half the story or the third face. Yeah, well, that's true. You can never trust what the government's disclosing. And it's an ongoing process. Even when we receive full disclosure, what are they not disclosing? Right? That's true. So, you know, someone said, someone who worked with Joe for many years said his work is a bit evil. As somebody that's a hypnotist that observes stuff from a neutral level, I've never found anything in his that had any negative intentions. I think it's all positive. It seems like when anybody becomes successful, anybody starts to do well, there's always somebody that is behind the scenes bad mouthing him. And what is their intention?
Right.
What is their intention? If you can't give me an example of what exactly they're doing, I just don't believe that. There's always somebody that's going to badmouth you. You got to judge it by your own heart. You access the information and then judge it by your own heart. Karen says, do animals have free will? I believe they do. I believe all living creatures have free will. You can certainly diminish that free will by training them or manipulating them. In some cases, it helps them, but I think that all animals have free will. They're just in a different level of consciousness to use that free will. So that's my belief. So, does anybody else have any questions? Let's see. Do you see any, my brother?
No, I think we've been getting to most of them. If anybody else has questions, drop them.
Any chance you're coming to Berlin, Germany for an event? Yes, we're going to start branching out of the United States. Yeah. I finally may have convinced Kyle that we can go to Cancun. That was on our list. So, and then after that, we want to do the UK. If we can sell out the event, sell enough tickets to justify the event, then we're going to do it. So Germany would be our first non-English speaking, I think, if we did, because we have a large number of people that are in Germany. Yeah. But we want to do Australia and the UK, but Germany it's amazing how many people in Norway, in Germany, in the Netherlands that come to our events. We have a number of people. It's really amazing.
Canada too. We have a lot of people from Canada. So 2027 is going to be the year where we start going to other countries.
We're going to start going to other countries. We're taking this one step at a time. We want to travel the world, and we want people to travel with us. Yeah. And we want to go to amazing places, because the more and more of these people that join us, we're changing the world, each place, each location, but we're also changing ourselves. I missed a spot here in the United States. We have places where next year we are looking at Chicago and Minneapolis that are on the list for the United States.
Yeah, I think we also have Tennessee and Florida.
Tennessee and Florida. So either Clearwater or Orlando, Florida. Put it in the comments, like where the best place in Florida for us to put an event on.
Yeah.
And then Australia is we get a lot. So Brisbane or Sydney. We're going to Australia. We're definitely going to go to Australia. Imagine the jet lag with Australia.
How much is that?
I think it's a 12-hour difference. I'm not sure. It might be even more than that. It's a huge, super crazy time zone difference. So I'm going to be traveling to Greece at the end of June. I think that one's pretty crazy too. But yes, Tennessee. We are definitely going to be in Tennessee, 100%. We're just looking at venues now. Give us your suggestions.
Probably spring next year. You know.
Yeah,
I think that's when the climate will be perfect for it.
Absolutely. Yeah. We may end up putting an event on in Sedona every year, and in somewhere in California every year.
Yeah, LA got to do every year.
We may do San Francisco or San Diego, because California loves us, and so we're going to return to California. But eventually what we would love to do is put an event on every month instead of every couple months, and maybe every 2 weeks. We're going to take it to the, we'll see what's possible. We're going to learn how to do this. Yes, South Africa would be great. We would love to go to South Africa. We actually have a lot of people from South Africa. We had somebody two people from South Africa in the Maui event, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then okay, so I want to do an event in Mount Shasta, because I feel like that would be like Maui to me. But where do we do an event in Mount Shasta? When I looked it up for us to do an event, there's no place to do an event in Mount Shasta. Please tell us where.
I've heard there's like a theater type spot.
Okay, so maybe we could book the theater and people could get their own rooms, and they would be in charge of that on their own.
Yeah.
So if you can, because I promise you, if we do Mount Shasta, I've shared my experiences in Mount Shasta. Once I go there, the trees are very talkative to me.
Yeah.
I have a connection with the trees in Mount Shasta, and now that I've gone twice, and also something's going on there. I'm receiving major downloads when I go there. So
there's a lot of people coming out and saying that there's inner earth beings under Mount Shasta. And Ra of Earth was telling me he did a meditation at Mount Shasta, and all of a sudden in the meditation, he was like going down through this portal, and he ended up inside the earth in Mount Shasta, and he saw these inner earth beings.
So maybe we may have to do a retreat in Mount Shasta. If we can't find the right theater, we may have to do a smaller scale retreat.
Where is Mount Shasta?
It's in Northern California.
Oh, okay.
It's in Northern California.
California is cold. Like
it depends. Yeah, it could have seasonal weather more. It's in the mountains. It's just absolutely amazingly foresty beautiful. Okay. And it has this mountain that just doesn't look like a normal mountain that's sitting there. And it has these cloud formations that come over Mount Shasta that literally look like an alien ship is using the cloud as cover, and it sits over the mountain and then goes away. And so, there's actually a documentary on Netflix that does a pretty good job of looking at the history of Mount Shasta, but more importantly, the main leader of the Rosicrucian movement. And I've always found the Rosicrucians sort of respectable. They never went crazy. That was always sort of scientific. Details that for sure there were beings living inside of Mount Shasta, at least when he was of the writing, documenting multiple different experiences in Mount Shasta. In addition, the I am disclosures from Saint Germain was all done out Mount Shasta. When you read the story about how he meets Saint Germain, he meets him on the mountain in Mount Shasta. And then my book that I read by U.S. Anderson called The Secret Power of the Pyramids starts out also, because it focuses on energy centers around the earth. Like it has like a big part of it in Mount Shasta as well. When I went to Mount Shasta, it was very profound. And I have an episode called where I went over my experience, where the trees started talking to me, my conversation with the trees. I feel like that's like Maui, a place where the fourth density exists in the third density.
Yeah, I think an important part of the evolution of our event is to do it at sacred spots.
That's what I'm saying. If we can do it at these sacred spots, take advantage, like we're doing in Sedona, where we can take advantage of the energetics of the location. Lori Scarborough says, Brian, are you the one telling the greatest story never told? Yes, I am. Lori, thank you. Am I the one telling the story, the greatest story ever told? I think that's true. It's the greatest story never told. And maybe that'll be the name of a future book. Absolutely 100%. So lenticular clouds are the ones you speak of. Yes, the lenticular clouds, Mojo, are 100% what I'm speaking of. Absolutely. So Shapeshifter says, I have clouds like that outside my window. Why wouldn't, if you can't find it on radar, isn't the easiest fix for an alien craft just to use clouds? They might be there all the time inside the cloud. Like the cloud, if you can present a cloud-like formation in the sky, and then they don't show anything on anything on the radar except a cloud, like you see in the weather, then how do we know that aliens are not constantly moving over the earth, behind cloud formations. It seems kind of obvious.
That's a good theory.
So what is the role of astrology in quantum jumping? So thank you for asking that question. What I have found is that astrology is a very good way of opening up an understanding of who you are on the inside and who you are, all the different archetypes. All the different parts of astrology are actually different parts of you. And so one thing I found in my QHHT session and my journey here was it's my soul's purpose to avoid any sort of system that tells me that I am one fixed thing.
Yeah.
So any system that says I am a Leo, so I can only do this, or that I'm in human design, I am this certain factor or number type or emotional code that says it locks me in. And I've had astrologists and psychics say a thing, a little comment, an offhand reference about my future or what I'm going to experience that seems to lock me into a timeline. I start expecting things to happen. The thing is, it's just very powerful and true. It's based on real science and experience of the past. But in many cases, I don't want to know about certain astrological, and I don't care about Mercury being in retrograde. I don't want to know that because then I'm starting to look for problems. So I am the operant power when I'm quantum jump. So the thing is,
astrologically, like I will avoid anything negative. Like what's it called? Retrograde. People talk about that. I block that out. Like people say Mercury's in retrograde, everything's going to be crazy. It's almost like this excuse to get crazy. But I will celebrate different things like Lionsgate and different like portals, astrological portals that I think we can benefit from.
Right. No, I agree with that. I agree with that. And I still think that we can learn from those things. I really do think we can learn from. I'm getting a double play on my computer. Hold on a second. There you are. Okay. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
What do you mean a double play?
Oh, just something coming up on my computer, but I just think that there's an episode that I recommend that you watch on my channel called The Mirror Makers. And that sort of is in reference to quantum jumping. But I think I've met some great, incredible astrologists that have helped me unlock parts of myself. So in no way am I denigrating astrology. I'm saying that I don't want it to sort of tell me my future or who I am, but I want it to guide me. And I think that there's still a place for that. Yes, and I agree. Astrology and human design doesn't box you in. It does have tremendous value. And in most cases, on an energy level, these systems unbox you. They tell you that you have more potential and more abilities. Depends on where you're at. I think there's always a place for it. And so there's some human design teachings that are amazing.
What are your thoughts on things like Lionsgate and these different portal days that people talk about? Because I have always been really skeptical about everything in the spiritual world until I'm proven otherwise. And last year on Lionsgate, I could feel a different energy. I really did. Like I felt like it was actually like a mystical energy. So
the thing about the Lionsgate is that's interesting is I think that we created it. I think before, because the way the timing is, it's not consistent with the calendar and everything. But so many people talk about it now that it's become like this holiday, like Christmas, that something energetically is happening. I think it's happening from us coming together around this particular date. That was my sense of it, because we should treat every day like it's a special event, like a gate is opening. Right? Every day should feel like a special event, not those particular days. But when I've done the Lionsgate meditations, when I've had those moments, it's been special because everybody's coming together, sharing that moment. And there is something really amazing starting to come through. I feel like we opened a portal from past Lionsgate meditations, and that portal seems to open because we opened it in the first place. And so it's not my place to question if it's real or not. It's real now because we created it. Enough people in the quantum believe something, then it is real. So all of these events on some level become real once people start talking about it. And that's why I would never downplay them. But I want to treat every day like it's a special portal. Every day is a gate, and that I'm opening, that I'm experiencing this amazing experience on a regular basis. That's the way I look at it.
Nice.
But I like that question. But I do think that Lionsgate is a part of it. Absolutely. I dream a lot about being in the ocean. What you guys think that could be? Well, it could be any number of things. I believe that we've had past lives, and there are other planets where we live in waters and in oceans. In fact, I would say that the whales and the dolphins may be fourth density. You know what I mean? It's a different consciousness because you don't have a home. Like, you have all your food is in the water. You're just going around, just everything is just food and water, and you're free to go as you right. I think on some level the whales are connected to the dolphins, that there's some sort of new earth interaction. Like, there's pods of whales and dolphins that connect, and they're all in a dreamlike state where they're in a whole other consciousness. And so the dolphin's brain is larger. When you look at some of the science behind that, John Lilly is somebody that I've done episodes around, because I have an episode called You Are God by John Lilly. John Lilly would take acid and sit in tanks with dolphins, right? And he would have these loving experiences with the dolphins and start to see that there was something more going on. So, and I know that people, when I've really sensed into their past, that are previously dolphins that chose to become humans. So if you're having visions of the water, it may be related to your soul's journey on some level, and it may, follow that, see where it takes you. It may open up something within you. That's what I say about it, 100%. So,
yeah, maybe do a QHHT session and see what pops up.
Yeah. If you're having those visions and having a question about it, you know what? You can go online and look up QHHT by zip code. Nice. There's actually somebody in most of your nearby area. And when I did it, I just went to somebody's house and they had it set up, it had candles. I got to lay down, and give yourself 3 or 4 hours, right? To properly experience it, you need to be in a relaxed state and have time to do it. And then you find a good practitioner, then it's amazing. When you came down from the cloud, it's amazing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's amazing how they know that you're looking at the cloud, and how you go into the cloud and out of the cloud.
You know what's crazy about? I got certified in QHHT, and then what you have to do is practice on people. Right. And so when I started practicing, the very first time I went through it in this practice scenario, my windows were open, but the blinds came flying in. And then I felt something sit on me, and I went to scream and I couldn't scream. And I talked about this recently in my interview with Sarah Breckman Cosme. And a lot of people in the comments were saying that sleep paralysis is something that will happen before outer body experiences. Have you ever heard that?
Okay, so yeah. First, before we go any, QHHT is quantum healing hypnosis technique. People had asked on the and sleep paralysis is a common experience that people have when lucid dreaming or entering into different realms and dimensions. In some cases, it's a bilocated consciousness where you're outside of your body, but you also have some level of consciousness within your body, and it's just like, relax, don't freak out. You're outside of your body, and you weren't supposed to wake up right now. Just calm down. He's coming back. He's somewhere in the realm. Your body's like, oh, they woke up, man. I got to go back. And so you're like frozen, like, I can't move, because the locus of your consciousness is actually in a classroom, or talking to an angel, or working with someone else in the and so people will experience it in sleep meditations and in meditation sometimes. And it's like a sliver of your awakened consciousness suddenly enters your body, and you're connected by a silver thread. And you're going to be okay. There's not any cases of people staying in a sleep paralysis. And so, but some people freak out.
Yeah, I freak out.
Experience the sleep paralysis, and it scares them from continuing. Don't be afraid of it.
It's hard.
Only a temporary. It's hard not to be, right? But if you do that, just think about love.
Yeah.
Just like, okay, I'm in this moment. I'm going to focus on love and light, and that seems to speed up the process. And you can breathe. So once you start controlling your breath, you breathe. The breath is usually where you can get back into normal. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I would say.
One of the other things that has happened to me with that is, I have seen things move in my room. It's like a spirit. and then they come on me.
Uh-huh.
I definitely freak out. But I talked to Angie Hipple about this recently, and she said that that's like the start of mediumship, where if I actually embrace that being, I'll be able to tune into who it is.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think that's happening more and more. It's really interesting.
Creepy. It's so creepy.
Oh, beautiful, Rachel. Somebody said, have you ever noticed hieroglyphs with meditations? And the answer is yes. I've seen hieroglyphs and fractals. I've seen languages that I can't understand. I love that about meditation, how you'll have these images come through 100%. So yeah. But let's see. I think about love. That's what you got to do, Black Sunshine. Just think about love. Think about light. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. In that space, fear is attractive. So try to avoid, the best way to avoid fear is to think about love. And so that's why I say, don't.
That's nice.
What's that?
I said, thank you, Black Sunshine.
Yeah. Thank you, Black Sunshine. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
New Zealand would be a good one too. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. New Zealand would be amazing. I would love to be in New Zealand. So, yeah, let's see. We've been at 200. We've done pretty good so far. We've had a good, everybody that's joined us. It's been so much fun. We're going to start having guests. If you guys want to come on, then reach out to me and we can start arranging it. We want to have conversations about anything and everything. We can talk about world events. There's no limit in these live sessions, but it's a real opportunity for us to connect. You're live on your channel. I'm live on mine. And then if you want to go live on your channel as well, we want to make this it's an all-out party where everybody can join each other and have a great time. And so, have you made any more progress on your book, Kyle?
Oh, I have. I've started writing notes, and I'm seeing it come together really well.
All right, because I'm excited that you're going to have a book, and it's that you're working on it. It's a thing that I saw in the quantum.
Yeah.
And
if everyone could imagine it for me, basically, I've interviewed some of the most amazing people in the spiritual community on the most important topics. So I'm going to compile what all these different people say on specific topics and kind of give a summary on that and what it means. So I'm happy about that. Yeah.
And you're on school at Heart Coherence Collaborative, right?
Yeah. So if anybody really wants to practice heart coherence, my school is about that, because heart coherence changed my life. So 7 days a week, we have somebody guiding heart coherence. We do breath work, heart coherence. We do prayer in heart coherence. We do an embodiment technique in heart coherence. And all these different members of the community have stepped up that are just powerful magicians. And I've just let them have their own day. So, and then one thing that's important too about the school, for your school and my school, is anybody who joins gets to access our retreats virtually if you can't make it in person. And I would really suggest to anybody listening to be a part of those events virtually if you can't make it in person, because they are life-changing. I just heard from people from my school that attended the events, and they said it was so transformational. They loved it.
Right. And you know, in mine, I have content I can't provide on YouTube. I mean, there's content that I can't share on YouTube. I have audiobooks and meditations that are not available on YouTube. And so it's given me a place to also, I do a weekly teaching where I do these group meditations that I can't do on YouTube, where we're all sharing the same space, and then people can talk to me about it afterwards. So school has been a really amazing experience. I think I had a question. How should we deal with doom scrolling, folks?
Ooh.
How people respond. Often I get poo-pooed for being positive all the time. Well, you know, the social media makeup is designed to grab your attention. Attention is your energy, and pendulums are forming that take your energy, take your power away. And there may be truth in some of that doom scrolling, but the truth is there always have been bad things happening in the world. And, you know, it feels like when you do that, this is very like specific to this time. And like, there's never been a time when all these bad things are happening, but this is nothing new. The world has always been a world of chaos and love. And so you always get more of what you focus on. So if you have no control over it, if it's outside of your power, then you can become aware of it, but there's no need for you to obsess yourself with it. And there are certain social media websites that make doom scrolling very easy. And in some cases, I found it easier to just walk away from those.
Yeah.
Or to block or find a way around those, so you can, focus on what enlightens you, what inspires you, what educates you, because there's also good places to do that. And get out in nature, man. Go out and go for a walk. Get outside of your house. If you feel like that is a thing, then choose to focus on something else. Do a meditation, watch a great movie, read a great poem, listen to a good song. Those are things that help you escape from the doom loop. We all get sucked into it. But if you can find a way not to give your energy to it, that's the key, is don't give your energy to it.
I think what you said about blocking is a really important thing. Like a lot of us have had these dark, I guess, influences on social media that come into our sphere, and we watch them because they're like, it's something mind-blowing, but we watch them and then the algorithm expands that to show those things to us more and more. So it really is important to block all of those things.
And their question seemed to be in regard to commenting positively on doom scrollers. If people make fun of you for being positive, that just tells you where they're coming from.
But you got to be careful playing in that realm, if you're watching negative things and then commenting positively, that's great work. If you can go into the darkness like that and be unfazed. Any place of your attention, good or bad, for or against, the fighter and the one that's for it, all of them are giving your energy. So is your positive comment about giving energy? The best thing is to be neutral outside of it. The comment is an actual giving of energy when you do the comment, right? So the question is, what's your intention with that comment? And that's the thing we're learning. The social media is an extension of our consciousness. As we enter into a group consciousness, we're learning about what it's like to be in a group consciousness. We're learning about how we participate in the group consciousness. It's like a training ground, and we're learning when to comment, when not to comment, when to pay attention, when not to pay attention, when to put a like on it, when to share it, when not to share it. All of that is like a lower grade lesson for all of us, how we actually come together as a social media complex. And so there's times when something angers us, when we want to share it. There's times when something that we want to like. All of that is a part of this process. So it's an energetic monitoring that you have to do. Am I giving my energy to this? You have actual energy that you give, that these pendulums grab from you by resisting it. Like, how dare they? Or like, oh, I love this. This is great. And so I found I want to keep my energy and not give it. So the best way is to avoid the doom scrolling, not participate in it, even if you're participating from a positive place. That's my general experience of it. So I agree.
But it's something that we need to talk about more. Everybody's dealing with. I accidentally got sucked into video doom scrolling and had to get energy boost from this live quickly because I felt sucked out. Yes, if you want to get an energy boost, tune into one of our videos. They're designed to be the repellent, the air freshener to the doom scroll that you have in your life. I mean, people have said, Brian, why don't you go political on your channel? It's like, but there's already enough people doing that. I want to be the alternative. I want to be the place where everybody feels welcome. When we come to our events, nobody's talking about politics. Nobody's talking about the doom of the world. And it doesn't matter where you come from. In those moments, we're all one. And it's a place for us to come together. And that's what's great about our events and our community here, is that you're not being judged for what you believe or where you've gone in the past. And it's easy to get sucked into these things. The whole world is designed around garnering our attention and taking our energy from it. So
yeah, the person who was it that said that they comment positively on doom scroll material? I don't know who said that, but it may be more like positive use if you create a YouTube channel on helping people stop doom scrolling. I feel like that could be a whole thing that would really help people.
Somebody out there is going to be like the way to deal with doom scrolling. They're going to become experts at it.
Yeah.
There's a deep desire for that, for people to find those alternatives. When we start becoming aware of how we're using our energies, I think that's a big part of it. So
even kids, like children, they're getting technology so young, and they're not knowing what's coming into their sphere. You know, they could get lost in doom scrolling and not even know what's happening to them.
It's literally a technology designed to affect your attention just by you get notifications. It's almost
like a form of a war, like against.
There's a mind. I have an episode that was people didn't like, but on the mind war, and there is a mind war going on, and we're participating in it. And I say, even the best of us get sucked into it. In a recent channeling on Quo, they asked Quo. They said, why is it people that are of the love vibration end up getting sucked in to these negative conversations and supporting negative movements and things like that? It happens all the time, and it's very easy because it's complex. We get pulled into these things.
Yeah.
But there's an alternative. The alternative is the reality revolution, where it's all about love. It's all about light. It's all about overcoming the fear and finding a path into your greatest light, because those other pendulums want you to live a certain timeline. They're using your power to create a reality. They're using your mind. They tell you about a reality that may not exist, and then they use your attention and imagination to create that reality. So our goal is to create something different, to come together and see a world where we can solve all these problems. Right. We can solve global warming. We can solve all of the environmental problems. We can solve the issues of poverty and disease. We can have a world that's prosperous. We can have a world where there is no war. When I say those things, people say, well, that's impossible. Well, that's because you've been watching that doom scroll. But I'm telling you, there's an alternative, a world where we come together, where we solve the problems of the planet, and we find true peace and prosperity for everyone. I believe it because I've seen it. I've seen it so vividly and know it. And I know that all of you are a part of it. And every one of you that can enter into a belief system that this is possible changes everything.
Yeah, I think like stopping doom scroll as like an initiative could be like the single most important thing to help us, hop into a better time track collectively.
Yeah. Somebody had a question about movies. And yeah, there are some movies. Hey, I'm a fan of horror films. It's hard for me, but can we watch the horror film? So I'm even sensitive. There's certain kind of horror films I can't watch. But then there's many I can. It's a tough.
Yeah.
Movies are hard, but I believe there's a part of our consciousness when we watch a movie that knows that it's a fantasy.
Right.
And and so we're able to disengage from it.
Yeah.
But we got to be careful about what we're watching, because it is creative. It is creative. You got to, and that's something to be aware of. So
I'm not gonna lie, man. After I watch a horror movie, like I'm like looking around everywhere.
Yeah. But there's also some horror movies have a release at the end. It's the release at the end when they escape and they overcome, and that's what I like to bring up those emotions and then the release. So I don't like the horror films where like animals die, or it's a sad ending, or they don't have the release. Yeah. I want to feel scared, and then I want the release of it so that the scaring thing is over. That's part of it, right?
Yeah, it's like a longer doom scroll,
It's like a longer doom scroll, but I think that's why we're in the simulation. It's the same reason we watch horror films. We love the excitement of not knowing. We love the excitement of not understanding what's happened. It's the same reason we watch these movies, or that we share joy in our sporting events, right?
Yeah.
So very soon we're going to have to do our NFL predictions, and maybe, just maybe, we'll have a Reality Revolution fantasy football group that we could start.
Wow,
could you imagine that?
Yeah. Dude, have you heard that they're saying that Drake May leveled up entirely? They're saying,
of course he did.
But then you have Mike Vrabel, who kind of, I don't know.
He would never prop him up, because that's just not his motivational style.
You hear about Mike Vrabel's situation with?
Oh yeah, I've heard about it. Yeah.
That kind
are they ever going to stop? Are they going to give him a break? Are they going to stop talking about it?
I don't think they are, and that's like the whole pendulum in itself.
That could cause
I'm worried
problems.
about that pendulum affecting the Patriots. So
I could cause problems. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm thinking more and more as an NFL fan that it's not just about the athleticism of the players; it's the people that they pick. Yeah. They pick the leader. They pick the kid that goes home on time instead of stays out. It's like there's a certain personality type.
Yeah.
If you can get the best players with the personality type, that seems to me the teams that win, right? So, but of course you guys get Drake May after Tom Brady. It's totally not fair, man. So it's just not fair. Yeah. All right. The football gods, man. Come on. Where's the football karma from all this, man? But anyway, it's been an amazing couple hours. So the links for our events are below. Reach out to us and share your experiences. Continue to ask questions. Let us know if you want to join on future Saturday lives. I'm sending all my love, all my light to everyone. Yeah. As always, welcome to the reality revolution. May the force be with you. Hey, it's Brian Scott. So before you go, November 20th through the 22nd in Sedona at Bell Rock in the Vortex, 3 days of pineal gland activations, quantum jumping, future self merging. I'm using a special retrocausal technique where you merge with your future self based on real quantum physics that creates the most drastic and profound changes that you could ever imagine. The Earth is going to do half the work in the Vortex. Tickets are in the description. Space is very limited. You can go to the link, click the link, or go to www.brianscottlive.com/Sedona-2026. Sedona, Arizona, November 20th through the 22nd. There's early bird pricing available. There's discounts on rooms available. Get your ticket now. Click on the link now. I can't wait to see you there.